Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I posted a video yesterday announcing my foray into the live streaming and special content for my channel, and I called it What Would Ghosts Do? Today I'm putting out a video response to the very first personal scenario question, sort of breakdown to get Ghost's opinion on what he would do in that situation. And this question comes from a lady by the name of Carmen. I will not use her last name. I don't know if she really wants to put that much information out there. Carmen, this is for you. She actually posted this question probably within 20 minutes of me posting that video, which is I thought was really cool. So I owed her this, and she's gonna get the first response from it. Okay, her question is: my daughter and her husband invited me out to their place to stay, where it is safer than here in town. Now this daughter that I have spent over $75,000 on has decided that I am no longer welcome. So I moved back to town and I live in my son's father's house alone. I have prepped food and some guns, a 22, 25, a 380, and a 12 gauge. It is a quiet town, and I am working on getting my cellar redone since I have to go lone wolf. What would my chances be? I am 62 years old, a widow, and in decent health. I have asked for help from the community and the church, but unless I am willing to pay big bucks, I can't get any help. Something is really wrong with society. If I lock myself in the house, I have enough food for a year, and I have enough food for a year and a half. It just depends on my appetite. I've looked for a mag, but keep coming up empty. I can sew, I know medical, and I know how to can. If I was a man, they would call me a jack of all trades. How do you start a mag for people my age, because the younger people don't want us or they have no need for us? They are passing up a lot of knowledge. Carmen, this is a very, very good question. I've actually dabbled in it before on a couple of live streams I did on other people's channels. You have several different directions you can go with this. Number one, I want to give you props for having a year and a half worth of food put up. Hopefully you've got a year and a half worth of water as well, or either access to clean, fresh, reliable running water. That's going to be very important. You've got weapons, and obviously, you don't have the high-speed, ultra kick-ass assault type weapons, but you do have weapons that serve a very, very good purpose, especially the 12 gauge for home defense. The 22, 25 are great, scavenging, hunting type weapons, and the 380. I mean, the 380 is just a 9mm with a little bit less powder. I mean, it's nothing to laugh at. It'll get the job done, especially if you know how to use it. So let's look at this from the beginning. You lived with your daughter, and presumably her daughter and husband, and now they no longer want you there after you dumped a bunch of money into her over the years, I'm assuming. Basically, you're no longer welcome, so you move back to town where you live in your son's father's house. Awesome. And you're alone. Okay. So in an actual shit is the fan situation, you're going to have to address the situation that what happens when the daughter and son-in-law decided you were no longer welcome, and now they come to you for help. If I were you, I would address that now, either face-to-face with them, in a letter, an email, a chat, smoke signal, whatever you want to do, to let them know that if stuff does go stupid, that they need to find their own way. Or as a parent, because I would probably do the same thing, I would prep extra in advance to help out other family members, if that's a situation that you want a road you want to go down. If you want to cut them off and go lone wolf, then by all means you do you, but I would address it now so that they would be prepared and they would know not to turn down your street when things get stupid, if that's how the situation ended. So you've got weapons. Okay, that's good. It's a quiet town, which is awesome. You've got a cellar. Awesome. That's a big, big plus, especially if you're growing some food, and part of that cellar is done for food storage, maybe even a root cellar. Obviously, cellars come in really good in the case of tornadoes and things like that. Also, they come in really good in defense of your home and a safe place, basically, which is awesome. So that's a definite plus in your area, in your situation. I am. Okay. 62 years old. Okay, 62 is not that old. I mean, you're 10 years older than me. It's not that old. You say you're in good shape. That's great. The lone wolf thing, In a bug out situation, going gray man, going lone wolf will not work because it's too hard to get done what you need to get done out in the middle of nowhere as a lone wolf. If you're in a secure location with means to defend yourself, you've got a food and water supply, lone wolf's not that bad of a deal in the beginning, but you're going to need security. You're going to need obviously it would be better if it was more than just you. That way somebody can always, watch out for the other one while the other one's sleeping, kind of thing. But if you're seriously in a really, really quiet town and it's just nothing out there, then the lone wolf in a secure location is not a bad deal, especially for the first, 30, 60, 90 days where you're just riding out the storm to find out what's going on. But it is not opportune to be all alone. Number one, it's going to work on your brain. It's mentally fatiguing. So there's going to need to be, you're going to need other human contact, other support. Okay. You've asked for help from the communities and the church, but unless you want to pay big bucks, you can't get any help. I'm not sure what you're talking about there when you're asking for help. Is that help in redoing your basement? Is that help as far as getting things up to par in your house, defense-wise, prep-wise? I'm not really sure on that. But here's the thing. If you're asking for help from the community, and especially the church, and they're not willing to help, and the churches want to charge you, I'd find another church. That's just not the way it works, okay? My aunt lost her leg in a car accident, and the church has come out free of charge and completely remodeled her house, put ramps, widened hallways, bathroom doors, remodeled the bathroom, the whole 9 yards. To me, that's a church, and that's a community that really wants to help. But bottom line, if they're not willing to help you, cut them off. You got no time for dead weight right now. Cut them off. Yes, something is wrong with society when they do people this way. I agree completely. If you locked yourself in the house, you had enough food and water for at least a year and a half. That's awesome. That is amazing. But what I have noticed is that a lot of people, even myself, say if I estimated my food storage at 3 years, it's going to be somewhere around 2 to 2.5 years. For some reason, people always reach further down the road as far as their preps go. I don't know why. It's just a reflex. It's like when you're driving down the road and you hit a fog bank. Believe it or not, everybody speeds up when they hit fog because they want to get through it as fast as possible. And to me, when people prep, they always overestimate their preps. So if you're saying a year and a half, I'd say maybe a year and 3 months. And now if you bring people in, that's going to dwindle big. Say if your daughter and her husband, and you let them in your house because obviously you can't survive on your own, then that year and a half food supply is going to drop down to, obviously, by the numbers, it's divided by 3 to be 6 months. What I suggest doing is what I do is I prep at least 2 to 3 times as much as I would need for myself and my immediate family, because I intend to use my preps to build my mag. And I'm getting to that here in a second. Okay. You look for a mag and you keep coming up empty. You've got very important skills, especially the medical and the canning. Those are insanely important. If you were a man, you'd be a jack of all trades. Yeah, you're correct. And if you were younger, obviously, here's the thing about mags. I have been prepping for years. I'm not part of a mag. I don't intend to be part of a mag until after the beast shows its ugly face. Because here's the thing. I mean, say you've got 500 people in your immediate area that are mag potential. Do you want to choose your most important people that you're going to have in your life that you're going to rely on to keep you safe and alive? Do you want to choose that from the masses, or would you rather wait for the first wave to come through, people to show their true colors, and then you get to choose from what's left? Then you're getting the A-team. Then you're getting people they're there for the long run. They either stayed, some may have ran off and left, some may have just fallen by the wayside. But that's when neighborhoods come together after storms and hurricanes and things like that. That's when you see which neighbors you can trust, because you got one showing up on your door with ice. People seem to come together when a tragedy strikes. Short term. Long term, shit falls apart. But short term, that's when I'd pick out my mag members. Another option for you to do is, I'm sure you know your neighbors, left, right, across the street, maybe behind you or wherever in your neighborhood, even somebody that you've been close to for a year or so. Reach out to them now. Let them know, hey, if it's somebody you trust, let them know, hey, I do this, I do that, I'm a prepper, bing, bing, bing. If stuff gets crazy, you and your family, you and your wife, or you and your wife and kid, you come to my house, and I can provide for you in the short term. Then they're going to know they have a place to come. But make sure this is somebody that you trust. I mean, you really need to vet them ahead of time before you let them know exactly what you do and how you do it. Then you're building your mag with people that you trust. Then you've got security. You've got extra eyes and people helping you. You can build your mag that way if you really want to be a part of a mag. Because, you know, if you really want that mag to work there, that's a way to do it. I wouldn't reach out now and just try to network with as many random people as you can, because that could come back to bite you in the butt. Ideally, it would be family members that would literally take a bullet for each other. But if you're in an area where it's just you and your neighbors, there's got to be at least one or two there. Even younger people that have the energy and the stamina to do the things that you and I both don't want to do anymore. If you know, when stuff hits the fan, like the day of, when you go bang on the door and look, hey, I know you guys are running low on food, this and that and the other, come to my place and I'll take care of you. Now you're providing safety and security for him and his wife and his kid. That's going to come back tenfold. That's the direction I'd move into. And that would be number 2 on the list. Number 1 on the list is, even though you've got a year and a half of food prep for 3 years, go ahead right now, bulk up on your rice and your beans. You know, make sure you've got secure water. You know, make sure, you know, and everybody says rice and beans, they get tired of hearing it, but rice and beans is a complete meal. You can live the rest of your life eating nothing but rice and beans every day. Will you enjoy it? No, probably not. Will it keep you alive? Yes, it will. That's number 1. Also, because they're so cheap right now. So I would definitely stock up on rice and beans. Try to get you a good 3 years worth. Then you've got the ability to, you can basically, if it goes, when the balloon goes up and it gets crazy, you'll be able to pick and choose who you want in your mag, basically. And that, as far as the information you give me, that is about the best answer I can give you. I would say stay positive. There's nothing wrong with being the lone wolf, nothing at all in the short term. And it's going to work itself out, especially even if you're planning on going through life as a lone wolf. It's not going to happen that way. That's only short term. You can't stay awake 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that part of the equation is going to work itself out. You can take advantage of the time you have now and try to work itself out for you, whether it be your son, your son's father, your daughter, or your son-in-law. You can try to network some things here, because there's blood involved there, so there's going to be some loyalty. So in my opinion, it would be best to try to work through some of the damage with your daughter and your son-in-law, if you can, because you and I both know you'll probably never slam the door in her face when they're starving. So now would probably be the time to either plan ahead to share when they show up starving and crying, and you already planned ahead for it and you can accept their apology and feed them. That would honestly be my best information for you. Would be, I would go ahead and plan on that relationship mending itself. Whether she wants it to mend or not, it's going to happen, especially if the balloon goes up. Thank you for submitting your email. I really, really appreciate it. If there's anything on here I didn't cover or that I misunderstood, please feel free to email me again, and I will rehash this with you one-on-one, and we can go over it step by step. For the rest of you guys out there, please, if you have a scenario, email it to me at WWGD Questions. What would ghosts do? Questions at gmail.com. I will post the link in the bottom, the email link in the bottom. If you're interested in coming on live with me, please state that. If you're cool with me giving out your information, name, first and last, fine. If not, I won't. If you don't want to go on live, I will do a video specifically for you, just like this, in response to your email, randomly throughout the week, and I will notify you when I post it so you can check it out. And thanks a lot for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, share it if you wish, and I appreciate you giving me the time to try this whole thing out. This is my first response. Hopefully it'll get better and more detailed, and we will go from there. Thanks for your time.